bring post types into an Elementor form and make it possible for people to select from a list of existing posts, sort the posts, order them, and use the selection to do what you want. Now that we're talking about naturally impossible things, let's talk about making this happen with SuperGloo. Coming up. First things first, come into Gloo, then toggle on Forms extensions. Now click on Settings, and then toggle on Custom Post Type field. Let's leave Repeater field and Front-End Post Submission action turned on. These two have been covered in depth in another tutorial, but we're going to use them to demonstrate how this Custom Post Type field can be used. For now, let's come into the Elementor editor, and we can add a new item here. The type would be post type, and let's give it a label of products, because we want to output our products in the front end. So product as the label. Output, let's make it a select field. We can use radio or checkbox too, so let's use a select field. Post type, let's scroll down and find from the list of post types on our site, products. We can order by date, by ID, menu order, or alphabetical. We can make it descending or ascending. We can exclude or include by post IDs. Of course, you can type it manually here or use dynamic tags, whichever you want. You can also use taxonomies. If you want to select or output post types from a certain taxonomy, you can select that taxonomy right here. You can exclude or include the terms and also use dynamic tags here. If you have some kind of parent-child, grandparent-grandchild relationship going on and you want to show that depth, you can do it here. And of course, if you want to make it possible for people to select multiple items, use multiple selection. And hit update, come to the front end and refresh this, and now we have a selection of products. So these are all the products on the site and we can choose from it. That's everything made short, but let's see how this can be applied in a real life situation right now. Now, since Gloo is all about teaching you how to cook awesome things, we're gonna create a post type called recipes. We've done that already. We've also created a meta box, and we use Jet Engine to do that, and it is a meta box we called recipe products. It is assigned to the post type called recipe, which is a CPT we already created. And we created in it a repeater field. This repeater field we named product for this recipe, and we added two fields. One field called product, which is a selection of posts, as you can see here. We also added another field which is going to select the number of items of this product. So let's say the food we're cooking is rice, and we want to tell the person that, okay, we have products on the site, and one of the products we have on the site is salt, and you have to put 2 bags of salt in this rice to make it taste good. Now we're adding this number of item field to ensure that we're able to output just that. Now these are some of the recipes we've created. Let's look at the 4th recipe here. And as you can see, this is the repeater field, and we have selection of products here from the products CPT, and we also have the number of items. So this products, which I cannot pronounce, we need 1 of them. We need 5 of this. We need 2 of this, and so on. And in the front end, we have something that looks like this: the title, the description of the awesome meal, and of course, the number of products needed. And with this, you can hit to buy all products, and you would do just that. This is done with our checkout engine model, which we have covered extensively in another tutorial, so be sure to check that out. But for now, our aim is to show you how to use the form in the front end to actually populate these posts within a repeater field in the back end. Don't worry if it sounds complex, we're gonna do it right now. Now, let's come into the Elementor editor, and as you can see, I've added a title field. I've given it an ID of title, so I'll copy that. I've added a content field. I've given it an ID of content, so I'll copy that. I've added a featured image field, and I've given it an ID of image upload, so I'll copy that. And as you can see, I toggled on upload to media library because we're using this to create posts in the front end. Now I added repeater start field and give it an ID of rep start, so let's copy that. I also added the repeater end field, and as you can see, this is almost done. What we need to do now is to add the 2 fields within this repeater field, one for product item and the other for number of this item. Now we'll need three things here: the name of this repeater, which we'll copy now, items for this recipe, the name of the two fields within the repeater, the product item, and the number of this item. Now that we've copied all the field names, let's go right into the Elementor editor and make it work. Let's add the first field, the product item. We're gonna take advantage of our post type field here. Let's drag it within the repeater. Into the repeater, there it goes. Let's give it a label of products. Let's output it as a select field. And let's say the post type is products. We'll leave everything else as is and create another field. This time, we're gonna make it the number of the products. So let's type number of products. Now we can close that out and drag it in right here. As you may already know, we need to give these IDs. So for product, we're gonna give it an ID. Let's just make it synonymous to the ID of the product in the backend. So let's just call it product item. And for number of products, we're gonna give it an ID of, we'll copy that. And now it's time to add our actions after submit. As you can see, I've added front-end post submission, and that's made possible only because I toggled that on within Gloo. The front-end post submission module is awesome, and we've covered this extensively in another tutorial, so I'm not going to talk too much about it right here. So we'll point it to the post type called recipes, because that's the post type we want to update. The post status, let's make it published. The title, the field title, is called title. The content is called content. The featured image is called image upload. And now, because it's a repeater, we're going to toggle on its repeater field, repeater source is jet engine, and the form repeater ID rep start. The source repeater ID, we're going to go copy that from here, items for this recipe. Let's copy that, bring it in here. And now let's map the subfields. The first one is for products, and it is called product item. The source subfield, which is the field in the backend, is the same thing because we made it the same. It's product item. The next subfield is the form subfield. We called it number of this item, and the source subfield, which is the field in the backend, we called it number of this item. Now that that is done, let's close it out and hit update. Now let's go to the front end and see it work. So let's come to the front end and refresh this, and now let's see what we have. We can add the recipe. We'll call this 5th recipe. Let's describe the meal with this lorem ipsum dummy text. Paste it here. Let's choose a file. We'll use this beautiful image here. Let's add a new product. And as you can see, we can select from a list of these products. So we can select this one and give it a number of products like 5. Let's add another one and say this one, which is very, very important for this food. We add 3. Let's add one more, this 2. And we can hit send. Of course, you can customize the message that shows here afterwards. It's your choice. The form was sent successfully. Now let's see if it has been updated in the backend. So let's come here and refresh this and see if we now have a 5th recipe. There we go. Let's view it in the front end. And now we have it. If you're curious about how to use one button to add all of this product into the cart and be able to allow people to check out this, we have a module called Checkout Anything. So check out anything. That was the CPT form field. Let's hear from you. What amazing things can you do with this? Be assured that at gloo.oo we have tutorials on all the magics of Gloo, so check them out. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and we will be back in no time. Bye for now.